Hey guys, it's me Tom, and I am summarizing my bibliography that I made in this website I made for George Frederick Handel, and hopefully it goes well and hopefully you understand. So let's do it. And every time I look at the screen, I actually got the screen right there, so I might be reading from the website thing. So yeah, let's do this. So obviously George Frederick Handel was born on the 23rd of February 1685 in Germany. That's kind of simple. Once he was in around about my age or younger, he wants to fulfill his dream to be a musician or a conductor once he is older. Um, Sadly, um, one side of the family, there's like a family clash that I should tell, and George Frederick Handel's father doesn't really like the idea of George becoming a musician. That's kind of sad. I mean, if I was a dad, I would be thrilled, and I was just like, yeah, go for it. What can I do? But instead of that, George Frederick Handel's dad just like, no, not a chance. You need to go cry in the corner. Just kidding. Obviously, there's a other side to it. George Frederick Handel's mum was the nice, like the angel. There's like a little devil and angel. Like the devil is the dad, and the angel is the mum. Obviously, yeah. So his mum was so overthrilled, and he really wants to help him fulfill his dream of being a musician. He brought George Frederick Handel's there we go. George Frederick Handel's mum brought him his own violin and started practicing and stuff. One of my nose is a bit sort of dribbly. Sorry. So George Frederick Handel, a few years later, he keeps on practicing like all musicians do. I do it every single time. Practice my vocals, practice my bass, practice my guitar. It's a life experience, don't worry. So anyway, so he keeps on practicing, and since he was my age still or older, he decided to join a orchestra they wanted to do and play the violin for him, and that's when George Handel got really talented and really famous for his work. So one day George Frederick Handel just sat down and just said to himself, I want to make my dream a bit bigger. What about becoming a conductor? And he did. Once he was a bit older, I don't know his age when he's first conduct, but I'm guessing around about late 20s or early 30s or something like that. He signed up to this conducting course and just keeps on practicing, and he got really famous out of that. He joined in truckloads. I can't read what the group is, but holy cow, he'd been in a lot. I mean, a lot of groups. It's insane. It's crazy. And since then, everything was going well. George Handel's got the fame, and he was so popular. In fact, the king of England or the Queen of England invited him to play for him. And that's when Hallelujah came. Then he was, I think he was struggling one time to make a song, like a new song for the king, and he was so struggling, and he thought about like holidays and life and stuff. Like for example, he thought about Christmas, about Easter, and about like his life and how great it is. Which, from the sounds of it and the looks of it, he had a really good life besides from his parents. I'm guessing he's like over thrilled if he lives his parents. Good on him. Anyway, so he thought of that and he made the idea of making a song called Hallelujah. And as you predicted, he performed it in front of the king. He thought it was an okay job, and it's like, yeah, it's okay. I can improve on it, but it was so good. In fact, like at the end of it, at no reason, the king just stand up and applaud, and then the audience applaud. I mean, if the king does that, I mean, come on. If you did something in front of the king and you stand and the king stands, how would you feel? I'll be over the damn moon. I mean, seriously, I'll be just buying myself a rocket and just run around the moon. It'll be insanely good. It'll be amazing. It'll be a dream come true. But anyway, so he was very popular. He's like he was so popular, like a pop star. Like, for example, like Demi Lovato or Maroon 5. They're like really popular right now. And same with George Frederick Handel. He's like a pop star at back the days. And oh my god, he's from the sounds of it and the looks of it, he was extremely popular. Like, yeah, some of the songs is a bit boring. I know some of them, but this song in particular, I reckon it's got a really good taste, and I really like the song. But anyway, so he made like small like songs or the long like songs and stuff like that. And then everything was going well, but there's something happened one day. And around about 1763, George Frederick Handel suffered with blind disease from his eyes. No glasses, no laser eye surgery, nothing can cure it. But you think that George Frederick Handel now decides to give up, just goes back home with his mum and dad, just being blind forever. But no, he decided to pick himself up, just saying to himself, no, I'm going to stick to my dream and just keep going with my music. It's simple as that. And he actually did it. If I was George Frederick Handel, once I was like blind and stuff, I would just like say, alright, this is getting really hard, I think I need to retire. So thumbs up to George Frederick Handel back then. So it was so good. It was, and around about in like nearly the 80s, the 1800s, George Frederick Handel was going to a very posh concert. He thought he'll be like in a really good boat, because they don't have like pedals and cars and planes back then. They just have boats. That kind of sucks. And I've been in boats. They do suck. I mean, if you're trapped out there for 2 days, I'll be dying. I'll be like puking like at the side of the boat. But anyway, it was a very long trip, and as you know, because they have sails and we have motors now, but they have like sails that takes them like ages. It's insane. Anyway, so George Frederick Handel got into a boat, like an average sized boat. George Frederick Handel doesn't like it, so he complains it. But he has a concert that he needs to go to. He was so determined to go to that concert. He just said, screw it, I'm going to that boat. I'm going to that concert. I'm going to make the people happy. So, he went to the boat and sailed off to, like, I think it was London again. I'm not sure. So, anyway, he went to London, but all of a sudden he got really, really sick. I mean, insanely sick. Like, I can't believe he got that sick. Like, come on. If I stuck for that long, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be really that sick, and then all of a sudden, about like a couple of days later or a week later, I'll be like coming back. But not for George, not for good old George Frederick Handel. He got really sick. I mean, seriously, really sick. But he pulled it off and went to this concert with a bit of sickness in his shoulder. About a couple of days later, on April the 14th, 1759, he died in London, England. Yep. That shows you gotta be careful. I mean, seriously, if you go on boats and stuff like that, you gotta be really careful. Anyway, he got a really, really good cemetery. All his fans went to his funeral and stuff like that. Like, if my favorite band died, I'll be totally go to this funeral. You'll be doing the same thing anyway. So, all his fans went to this funeral, and it was so emotional. I can guess that it's so emotional. And he got like special treatments, like carved his name and into his like grave thing. Yeah, I'm literally really tired. But anyway, enough about me. And more about George. So he got special treatment with his like grave and stuff, and made that much more special. And yeah, and his grave was left there ever since until now. So, to summarize a little bit of my opinion, I reckon that George Frederick Handel has done a really good job. He was so famous, it's insane. I reckon he's like more famous than like famous pop stars like Lady Gaga or like Taylor Swift. George Frederick Handel just like mopped the floor off of them. It's insane. It's so crazy how many fans that he's got back then. It's insane. And he got some really good concerts and stuff like that, and it was so cool. I hope like someone just like rewrites his song and just keep going with his like his music and stuff like that. So, hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully it makes sense to you, and hopefully if you're studying for something like that, hopefully it makes sense, and yeah. So, stay classy.